welcome to the Human Design Center for Newcomers. Today we're looking at the generator child. The vast majority of children that come into the world are generators. And how beautiful generators are, how extraordinary they are, the depth of their power, their creative force. That our whole world is indebted to their power. It is the totality of the generator field that creates life on this planet. And it is one of the ultimate tragedies, cosmic tragedies, that such an extraordinary force suffers so much. Generators are a very, very powerful force, but only in response. Think about what it's like for a generator child to come into the world. When a generator child comes into the world, it comes into a world that demands of it that it become a manifester. It just does. How many parents with generator children ask them to do things? They don't. They either expect them to do things, or they tell them to do things. And anyone who has a generator child who tells them over and over again to do things will recognize what kind of resistance field is created and how frustrating the experience is for the child. In all of my years of working with parents, and I have worked with so many parents, it is one of the things that are so intrinsically helpful is that when you have a generator child, it's not like you can teach it design. It's not like that's a process that's going to be simple. It's not like it's ready conceptually, depending on its age, to be able to grasp what you're describing. It's not necessary to teach them human design to treat them with respect. See, everything about the nature of the human design system is about recognizing the uniqueness of beings. A unique being deserves respect. There's nothing else like them. So many generator children suffer deep, deep frustration because they're constantly being told. It's the asking that makes a difference. Think back as a generator to your own childhood. Think back to how many times you were really asked, respected as a being. This is the beginning of the deep, deep frustration of the generator, constantly trying to live up to a manifestor standard that is not theirs. And the ignorance of parents who burden their children with this deep, deep frustration because they cannot and do not understand how to treat them correctly. It all begins with asking. No, I'm not being unrealistic. I'm a father. I am and have raised 3 children. They're all generators. I know how difficult it is to ask your children over and over again. But before I get to a point of demanding, I ask first. And it makes a difference in their lives, and it makes a difference in their spirit. Hello, and welcome to the Human Design Center for Newcomers. Today we're looking at projector children. Now there's a lot of projectors in the world. There are approximately 20% of the human population. And projectors are the dominant non-energy type, meaning that projectors don't have consistent access to either generating or manifesting. This becomes, in fact, the whole focus of their life process. A process of trying to align themselves with the right forces of generating and manifesting. And unlike energy types, who are very much absorbed in their moment-by-moment process, that the role of the projector is very different, and the projector child is different. The projector child is much more interested in other children than it is in itself. Not only that, the healthiest way to guide a projector child is to be able to align them to other children who are examples in that sense. It's so important to see that about projectors. Not only are they carefully examining the other children, but of course they're carefully examining their parents as well. Everything about the projector is its capacity to be able to recognize traits, to recognize attitudes, to recognize processes. It is one of the reasons why Jovian Archive supports the education of projectors. It is a different process for them. Oh, the burden that one places on the projector child when one tries to train them as a manifester. This is an enormous burden on these children. After all, when you leave a projector child alone in its room expecting that there are many things that it should be doing, it doesn't mean that any of them will be done. It's like homework with children. With a projector child, to be able to guide them, to ask them formally if they want some assistance, would they like some company, would they like some help, do they need help? All of those things are essential in the development of a projector. And basically what it comes down to is that the attitude of the parent, remember that the strategy of the projector is to wait for the invitation. Now, projector are there for those decisions that are so important in life, and the decisions one makes when one is young have enormous consequences for the rest of the life. That the projector needs to be invited. How important it is for the parents to treat them formally and to understand something. All of us as parents would like to make sure that our children are advantaged, if that's possible, to be able to give them the extracurricular activities that we think would be healthy for them, to engage them in whatever sport, arts, whatever it may be. And yet when dealing with a projector child, this is something that can only be invited, formally invited. Would you like to blah, 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 whatever it may be, but there must be that formal connection. How important it is for the projector child to be invited out, to be invited to go places, to be invited to do things. It is through this invitation that they begin to truly develop their skills. And through the invitation, you bring them to what is natural for them. The better you can recognize what you think they need and invite them to it, the healthier their response is going to be, and the healthier their process is going to be. Most important, it's very, very important for parents of projectors to give their projector children an opportunity to see the other. You know, in this day and age of so many forms of communication, whether it is the internet or the vast number of programmings available on cable television or all of these things that are there, many parents have restrictive attitudes about the content and the spectrum that their children watch. I just give you advice in this. Don't limit the projector child on what it sees out there, within reason, obviously. It is part of their deepest development to be able to look out on the other, and through watching the other, truly, this is how they learn about life and how they learn about what they themselves would like to be